I purchased a new item off of eBay. This is to go with my new Trek bicycle. I needed something other. If you can see, I've just got it leaned up against the wall. Needed something to park it with, so I ordered this. It was $15.99. I made them an offer of $14.99, and they took it. You can see this is product bike parking. So let's open it up and see. I'm a little concerned because there's a hole. I hope nothing came out. Get my trusty knife. This opened up and see if everything is in here. Hopefully it is. If I can get into it. Turn this so the flaps are sideways. Yeah, this looked like a pretty nice bike stand. Looks like you can just kind of roll your wheel into it and it clips into place. Which is what I hope happens. Whoop, knock the camera just a bit. Yeah, and here it is. And I was scared I was going to have to assemble this. I am not. Let me get it out of the box. Well, I can probably get this out without knocking everything over. Okay, let me get this box moved and I'll come right back. Okay, everything is out of the box, not out of the plastic, but inside we have the large bike rack itself. We have these things, and I believe these are some sort of little, they funnel in and your tire goes in between these. I think that's what it looked like on the picture. And we have the instructions. There is the item number, and that's what it's going to look like when it's set up. And there you see those cone things. And it looks like this part maybe lays down and you roll your tire in and it kind of clips up behind it and holds it in place. According to this, it's a foldable design, and it is after installation, strong, stable, and durable, rubber protection base, suitable for indoor wood floors. Good thing, right? And outdoor on the surface, there are advanced oxidation treatment, and it's best rack for expensive bikes to avoid scratches and touching the frames, disc rotors, or cassettes. So frame, the disc rotors, or cassettes. That's great. And only the tires touch. There is who manufactures it. There's their number if you want to call them, I guess. But that is everything. So let's get this out of this bag. Probably could have done that when I was getting it out of the box. I'm really happy that this thing is assembled. I figured I would have a bunch of pieces that I would have to try to figure out how they go together. Boy, this thing smells like, you know that smell if you've ever walked into a Harbor Freight or anywhere that sells like cheap Chinese tires? I used to sell scooters, Chinese scooters, and just that smell, that cheap rubber smell. It's what this smells like. I assume it's these feet. Okay, let's see. This comes up. I don't know what clicks it. Is that scratching or dirt? It's just scratching. Okay, we've got a little bit of surface rust that came. Lots of box dust, but a little bit of surface rust. I imagine, well, it's like it's clicked into place right there. I don't know how you get it unclicked. Ah, you press, and then you can, in theory, lower it. Yeah, whatever. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Okay, let me look at the instructions again. Totally doesn't help. But it's showing this as roughly vertical. Looks like it'll be about there. I don't know how you would refold it. but I need to get these on, which look like they go up top here. So let me try to get these on and I'll cut back. Everything is assembled, and by assembled I mean I squeezed these two cones together and put them on with two bushings and some nuts on the shaft that was already there. Now, its initial observations, it's kind of Harbor Freightish quality. It, some scuffs over it. It smells very much like Harbor Freight, that cheap plasticky smell. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's just rough edges all around on things. Now, it was incredibly wobbly. I mean, like it would rock a good inch left to right from the rear. I think it was that one to the front right. So back left to front right. It would wobble a good inch. I used some strategic adjustment, meaning I stood on it and bent. And I was able to get everything now. I don't know how well you can see, but it looks like it lines up pretty well. And I had to tighten up every nut and bolt on this thing. Everything was loose. I mean, this wobbled back and forth about 1.5 inches. You know, you had the inch wobble down on the bottom. None of these plates were tight. This was all loose. So now that everything's tightened up, it's fairly sturdy. I don't know if you can see that. I'm putting some good pressure on it and it barely moves. It doesn't really rock, depending upon where I get it on my floor. It doesn't really rock much. So let's get the bicycle into the stand and see how it fits. Here is the bicycle in the bike stand. Hey, it works. So for 15 bucks, I think, probably pretty okay. A couple of things about it that are important to note for anyone. Now I have it in here. Now remember, I had to tighten every nut and bolt on this stand, and I also had to stand on the stand and put quite a bit of force to bend it to get it to be level. Now once I've done that and retightened everything, it is perfect as far as level wise, and it seems very sturdy. Now you can wobble the bike just a bit, and that doesn't take very much pressure, but it doesn't go any further than that, even if I put lots of pressure. Now, does that mean that a child could grab a hold of the bicycle and it not come down or try to climb on it? No. Matter of fact, I don't think just this design in general, at least not for a 29-inch road bike or hybrid bicycle tire, would be secure enough for a household with children that would grab or pull on things to come over. Now, if you're a single person or a couple, that bikes or something like that, then yeah, this will work. 15 bucks. But as I mentioned, these are 700 by 38 tires. So they're kind of road bike tires that are fattened up just a little bit to make them some trail, where you can ride them on the trails as well. And you can see, well, let me get a better angle. Here we are at the back of the bike with the bike stand, and you can see that these 700 by 38s don't protrude very far back into this rear bar, where if they were 26 or 27.5s, or even maybe 29 mountain bike tires that are fatter, you might get, some better protrusion or some better gripping. And this front stand here, you can see, I can fit fingers in there. If they were fatter tires, they would grip better, or just slightly smaller. They would fit down in there a little further. Now, all that said, let me just get a back view, and I'm going to move it. See, it moves just a little, but not much. Again, a child could pull it over, but if you have a child, this isn't the best stand for you. For 15 bucks, I think it's okay. Final opinions on it? If you only had 15 bucks and you needed something to secure your bicycle just in your apartment or in your house, and you commuted daily, if it wasn't a long-term storage thing, and you had a couple of tools so that you could adjust it and tighten it up to make it a little more sturdy, because out of the box it would wobble right over, then yeah, it's probably okay. If you had 40 bucks and could get on Amazon and buy a rack that looks almost identical to this but is slightly thicker, then that would obviously be a better option. For me, I'm pretty happy that I bought it. I don't mind tightening up on something to save dollars. Plus, I got two of these for less than I could buy one of the one that's thicker, so I can have one at the office and one here. And I ride my bike every day to work, so it's not like, it's not a long term. It's not like I'm sticking it in this and walking away and just elements and everything can have at it. This is only for inside. It will always be here in this little area. Plus, if I have company over, I can take the bike out, put the bike in another room, put it in the basement, and fold this down, stick it in a closet. So yeah, I'm happy with the purchase, but it did take a little bit of manipulating, and you don't want to roll that front tire in if you have 29-inch hybrid tires. You want to go back in. Yeah, this is the bike parking stand from eBay, 15 bucks. Thanks for watching. I forgot to cover one thing, actually two things, and that is earlier I tried to collapse the stand and put it into its storage mode by pressing on this little tab here. There's a little tab, this is a little button. I tried to press on that. Well, actually what you do is you pull back on the button, and that allows you to collapse the stand, and then you can carry it, store it, whatever. And on all the pictures I've seen, they had this rack on the bottom stored there, and it locks into place. Your tab has two lock points. It locks into place on the bottom, so you have to pull on it to get it to come back up. Final thing I wanted to mention, let me zoom in on this, is here on this wheel holder. Now I mentioned I had hybrid tires, so they're road bike circumference, but they are not as wide as mountain bike tires or as narrow as road bike. But you see here, this little base, it's made so that those skinny road bike tires could actually fit down in here and grip, or if you have mountain bike tires, fit down in there and grip, or like BMX. Mine fits, doesn't quite sink down in, and it's not wide enough to fill this gap. So that makes mine less stable. But if you had a mountain bike or a road bike, this would be probably a very, very stable base. So just wanted to cover that.